watching the scenes at the Tottenham game on Saturday here at London Stadium, it really just brought home to me how broken this club truly is. Just seeing the masses of West Ham fans exit the stadium after the second goal, fans just giving up, it just really brought home how broken this club truly is. And this is my first time back at the London Stadium since I gave up my season ticket. Just walking around having a look, and I don't miss it. It's weird, this was 9 years of my life coming to this shithole, as I call it, every 2 weeks, sometimes more if we're in the cup. And I think fans have just had enough. That's what those scenes tell me. And against Chelsea, a lot of us have never really liked this place. It's been a few very hard years of coming here, watching crap football and seeing us get slapped by big score lines week in, week out, from the end of Moyes' time through to Lopetegui, now Graham Potter. And honestly, being here, it's all well and good. People can sit and point out about the good times, the Sevillas, the Lyons, the Frankfurts, and all of the good nights we've had here. It's few and far between. It papers over the cracks of just how shoddy this place really is. You know, I think a lot of us, you know, wanted to try to just make the best of it, because what else are we going to do? Upton Park's gone. They knocked it down and built flats on top of its grave. This is all we have left. And I just think it's just got to that point where fans just are done trying to make it work. You know, Ryan said on post-match pint, you know, that the amount of fans leaving after 2-0 down, you'd never see that at Upton Park. You'd never see that. You maybe get a couple want to beat the traffic or have got a long way to go. You would never see that amount of empty seats at Upton Park. You just won't. People might point out the odd game in history. You can do that if you want. Doesn't beat my point. This is a regular occurrence here. The game looks like it's gone. Fans giving up because they know the team's given up. What reason is there to stay here? It's not somewhere you want to be, especially when you're losing. So you can't blame fans. And that's all sort of the media and Sullivan through the media has tried to do over the years, is blame fans. I remember when we was in COVID times and we had that great season. Jesse Lingard came in, you know, we qualified for Europe, finished 6th, and it's because the fans weren't there. That's what it was. We were successful because the fans weren't there. When we came back the following season and we still did well, there was no talk about, oh, the fans are back. That narrative went away. Well, there's a boycott coming up against Brentford. Let's see how well we do in that game without the fans. There's a protest on Saturday here before the Palace game, a very important protest. And some people will sit there and say, well, what's a protest going to do? What's the point? He's not going to sell. I'll tell you what, if you don't protest, if you don't do anything and you just turn up and you just be a good little fan, he definitely won't sell. He definitely won't leave. That's a guarantee. So what harm is a protest going to do? What harm is it going to do to make our voices heard and our displeasure heard? Because there's been division in this fan base the past few years. Massive division. And this is an opportunity for the fans to unite against a common enemy. You know, and that enemy is David Sullivan. So why would anyone be against that? You know, like I said, it's not going to hurt. We're shit anyway. We can't get much worse. So a protest isn't going to make us a worse team. You know, so yeah, I'm all in favour for the protest. I'll be there on Saturday, and I encourage as many West Ham fans to be there and show we're serious. We're a serious fan base, and we've had enough. Whatever happens beyond that, it's out of our control. We can only do what we can do, and that's unite as a fan base against Sullivan. So yeah, I'm fully in favour of that. The boycott, same thing. I think I would like to see us actually go into the game and start there and then leave after like 5 minutes or something. After 15 minutes, 15 years of Sullivan, leave at 15 minutes. Really make an impact. But yeah, leave those seats empty. He's trying to counter it by doing cheap tickets, kids for £1. He's panicking. He is scrambling. There's reports coming out saying he's not speaking to media anymore, to these West Ham sites, Sean Whetstone and all that, because he feels like everyone's against him. He's really feeling the pressure and feeling the heat, and we've got to keep it up. We have to keep the pressure on him. It's so hard as a West Ham fan. All I want to do, I don't want to do all this. I don't want to protest. I don't want to be talking about the owner. I want to be supporting my team. I want to be watching my team. I want to be hopeful that we can get better and we're going to do well on the pitch. But it's just never going to happen. It doesn't matter if we go and beat Palace on Saturday. It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change. The main problem will still be here. We had a good couple seasons under Moyes, and look where we are because of bad ownership. Whether Sullivan stays or goes, whether he sells or not, at this stage, I don't care. I do care. I want him out, but the point is that regardless, I don't want to give up. I don't want to stop putting the pressure on Sullivan, even if he stays, because at least he'll be miserable. And that's the thing, he does care. He cares about his image, he cares about his reputation. And as long as we keep tarnishing that, he won't be happy. And that's the punishment we can give. That's a little bit of revenge we can give him for destroying our beautiful, historic, over 100-year-old home for this soulless athletics bowl. Absolutely soulless. Look, that badge, everything on there, it's all plastic. It's all plastic, which really sums up this stadium. There's stickers, all this things they like to put and dedicate to Billy Bonds and Bobby Moore and Trevor Brooking. All this West Ham stuff, they're all stickers. Nothing of West Ham is etched into this stadium. Everything feels like it's temporary. It's like, when you rent a house, you can't do any renovations, you can't paint the walls unless you get permission, you can't put an extension on, you can't do anything because it's not your home. This is not our home. We rent this from the London Legacy Development Committee or whatever it is. That's who owns this stadium. It's the home of athletics. We just happen to be here, mate. I can't tell you how much I hate this place, and I can't tell you how much I miss Upton Park. I've been missing Upton Park more and more. And it's to say, no, we can't go back, but we can demand more than this. It's going to take a long time. Whether it's a case of eventually owning it, knocking it down, building somewhere else, we deserve better than this. And we should always demand better than this. It's an absolute crime. It's the con of the century that people come into this football club, buy it, claim to be West Ham fans, and without anyone asking for us to leave Upton Park. I don't remember a single person back then going, oh, do you know what, we need to leave Upton Park. I really want to get a new stadium. I want to move somewhere else. Or, oh, we should really do that. Without anyone asking, they came and made that decision for us. And then sold fans on this move being a good idea based on lies. The sight lines being equal to Upton Park. This being a world-class stadium. In what world is this world class? That's what I would like to ask you. What world is this shithole world class, mate? Not in my world. It is far from world class. My seat was on scaffolding with little bits of tape over the seams to stop you stubbing your toe or cutting yourself. Little bits of like that grey electrical tape, whatever it is, over the little joints. World class. Massive gaps between upper and lower tiers. Pointless gaps. And now I've decided to put beer gardens in there. That's world class. piss poor is the antithesis of world class, and that's what we was promised. And now we have to hold them to that. And this is the thing about West Ham. When people say, well, what do we expect? I have this argument with West Ham fans when they said, you know, we're going to want to compete in the Champions League, want to play Champions League football, we need to compete with the likes of Arsenal's and Spurs and all those clubs. We need to compete with those clubs. That's why we need to move, and we haven't. Now, did anyone believe that just moving stadium would do that? No. But doesn't mean we shouldn't hold them to their words. Doesn't mean we shouldn't demand that from them. You know, and and as long as we don't get it, hold them to the standard of what they promised. I don't care whether we're West Ham and we haven't achieved that before in our history, or we shouldn't have expected that. Demand that from them. Right now, I'm kind of beyond that, and I'm just demanding they piss off. And that, because that's our only saving grace. Because it doesn't matter how much ambition they've got. They decide they want to take this club further and spend and do things right. They're incompetent. They haven't got the ability to do it. So that's as simple as it is. Let's just keep ramping up the pressure. You know, dragging their name through the mud in public, protests, boycotts, whatever. At least give it a good go. At least give it a good go, because the alternative is much worse. And that is the apathy setting in. And that's more fans walking away. That's fans falling out of love with West Ham. And that is when things will truly, truly take a bad turn for this club. So let's just keep it up.